Hey everybody, it's James here from NeuralNet Games, and today I'm bringing to you another huge update about Crimson Scales. It's time, or very close to time. So for those of you who don't know, Crimson Scales is the biggest fan-made expansion for Gloomhaven that has ever been created. It's being worked on still as we speak, and it's been worked on for a very long time here by my guest, Mr. BoardGame613. And yeah, and so we're going to talk about exactly how you get this printed, how it works, everything. I'll turn it over to him. But first, I just want to go through exactly what's in the expansion, just so everyone who hasn't been keeping up, just so you all know exactly, how much work has gone into this, how big it is, how professional it is, and just basically the level of it all. So it's got 11 new classes. It has 980 cards, which includes 329 ability cards, 116 events, 22 personal quests, 115 base attack modifier cards, 213 perk and other modifier cards, 128 item cards, 56 monster ability cards, and one monster statistic card. There's like a special monster. And then we've got a full rule book and scenario guide with 55 regular scenarios and 11 solo scenarios, one for each of the solo classes. We've got a spiral bound section book. So, like your campaign book, it's got 200 pages in it to cover all of those. It's got its own box with custom new artwork by the original artist of Gloomhaven. There are 17 standees. So for those of you who don't care about the miniatures, there are standees included in the box. There's 11 class standees and 6 monster standees. And then there are 81 miscellaneous tiles and tokens, 48 condition tokens, 18 overlay tiles, 15 tokens for specific class unlocks. Whew. Just so that shows everybody, this is not your standard custom content. No shots at anyone out there, but a lot of time and effort has been spent on this. So just to clear things up as well, there is no copyright issues. There are no problems with this being done because it is all not for profit. Zero money is being made by BoardGame613 or anyone else involved in the project. The only people who are making money off this are the print shops, and that's why this is allowed to happen. You can't make Gloomhaven assets if you're charging money, but if you do it for free, you can do whatever you want. Feel free to comment if you have any questions. And with that, I'm going to turn it over to Mr. BoardGame613 so he can tell us exactly how this works, exactly how you're going to order, print, etc., all that good stuff.
Thank you very much for this opportunity. So right now on the Crimson Scales website, there is a pre-order page where you can put your information in. When I was talking to a lot of print shops to get the pricing for this, very obvious, but if they're going to print a bulk run of hundreds of copies and then ship them out all at the same time, it's going to cost a lot less as opposed to doing one at a time, hundreds of separate times. So I worked with the print shops to say, all right, let's prepare this package, get this pre-order registry list so we can get an updated price quote for everybody. So at this point, essentially, people can sign up if they're interested in ordering now that they can see what's going to be in the box and an estimated price. As we get more registrants and as I continue to communicate with the print shops, we'll be emailing people updates in terms of what the price will be after we have the list, including shipping to the different countries. So we're really only collecting the information we need to get that pricing and going to be limiting email communications to only what's needed to get a full understanding of what you're getting and how much it will cost direct from the online print shop.
Okay, so let's talk dates. When do they have to order by and when approximately will it ship by?
So as of now, we put the cutoff time for the pre-register list, September 26th. We've already started talking with the print shop about reserving their production dates in November, so that way we can run it. Depending on how many copies are going to be purchased, that's how long it will take. So essentially, once we come back to them with the number, not only will we get the final pricing, but we'll also get, okay, if you're printing X amount of copies, we expect it to take X amount of time. So really after September 26th, when we have that list, we'll be able to get an update in terms of what the timeline is within November, as well as more information on the pricing.
Okay. And right now, the pricing with how many pre-orders there are, it's 135 US. Is that correct?
Yeah, that's estimated. And when it comes to shipping, I understand that it's going to a lot of different countries and that could be a major cost. The typical Kickstarter model charges you for the game, and then after you pay for the game, you'll get charged for shipping separately. What I'm working with is to get the shipping estimates up front, so that way you'll know exactly what the shipping cost will be in addition to the game cost before you actually buy anything, because it's understandable that if the shipping cost is going to be very high, it's not worth paying for that initial game without knowing that information. I'm also working in terms of the logistics side to see what we can do because, for example, a lot of the orders are from the US, and I'm seeing if there's a third-party drop shipping company here who can take all the orders from Europe and ship them to one warehouse in the US and then have those individually shipped to all the US addresses, which will be cheaper than taking all of the orders from the US and shipping them separately directly from Europe. So I am trying to do what I can to make sure that this is as inexpensive to everyone as possible on both the production of the game aspect as well as the shipping.
Right. And I'm sure, yeah, everybody appreciates that. So just to be clear, everybody, you're going to have a good understanding of what the shipping is going to cost before you pull the trigger, and make sure that if you're interested, but only if you're interested, don't just go and register just for the fun of it. Only if you have serious interest, go and register. But if you do, make sure you get it done, because if we can, get the orders even higher, then the cost goes down even more and it makes it easier for everybody to get their copy. So what if people can't buy it? What are the other options?
So if someone can't or doesn't want to pay to have it professionally printed, because this is a luxury to get it, all shipped to you in one box from the print shop. But because this is completely free, someone can play it on TableTop Simulator online, or we're going to make the files available for someone to print at home or bring to their own print shop of preference if they want to get it printed separately on their own. So we're doing everything we can to make sure that it's available in all formats. So however you want to play it, you can get it.
Right. So yeah, everyone, you can, because this is not for profit, all the assets are 100% free. You can go get the STL files for the miniatures. You can get all the print and play files. You can do it all yourself, however you want to do it. So let's talk Tabletop Simulator. What is the update there? Do we have timelines? When can we play it on Tabletop Simulator?
Right. So when it comes to Tabletop Simulator, what I'm first doing is putting out a beta launch, which I hope to have done by the end of September in a couple of weeks, at which point people can go on and actually start playing. But I'd like to give a little period of time where people can report if there's anything wrong with the mod that I need to fix. So that way, when I do the official launch, within a few weeks of putting out the beta, it'll have all the errors fixed. So if someone wants to start playing as soon as the beta is launched, they can. But there's the understanding that it may be updated if things need to be fixed for the final launch. So we're really close, uploading things on a daily basis onto Tabletop Simulator, and I hope to have that launch out very soon.
Nice. So everyone, make sure you're subscribed. I'm staying in contact with Mr. Board Game, and so I'll tweet it out or whatever. I've got a Twitter. I'm going to put a link down in the pinned comment because I'm plugging my Twitter right now because I'm trying to build my Twitter following. I'll also maybe put out, a community post in addition to that. I don't know if I'll put out a video. I don't know if that's really video worthy, but I will update you. So make sure you're subscribed or you're following me on Twitter. Okay, so let's talk about, there was a good question I saw asked about character complexity, and is it like Gloomhaven? Is it more like Forgotten Circles? How complex is it?
That's a great question. So when it comes to characters, we essentially categorize them into 3 complexity levels, 1, 2, and 3, and you'll have that upfront information within the book. So you'll be able to make your class selection based on how complex it is. If you want a simpler class that's more along Gloomhaven classes, you would go for a 1 or a 2. If you want something that's more like the Frosthaven starter classes, you would go for a 2 or a 3. When it comes to the scenarios, it's really more like Gloomhaven than it is Forgotten Circles. Yes, there are 2 books, so the information is hidden like Forgotten Circles. But otherwise, my real goal and aim when I created the Crimson Scales was to have more Gloomhaven. So essentially, if you're looking for the Forgotten Circles experience, you quite frankly won't find it here, but you will be able to build upon the different Gloomhaven mechanics with the complexity level much more in line with Gloomhaven.
Okay, nice. Okay, let's talk miniatures. How do we get miniatures? And for anyone who doesn't know, the miniatures are even a step above the Gloomhaven miniatures. So how do we get those professionally printed? Is there anything set up for that?
Yeah, absolutely. So the sculptor who created most of the sculpts for the miniatures is Epic Adventure Miniatures in the US. I'm actually working with him to get the miniatures printed professionally, not only for the miniature, but it'll come in a nice clamshell packaging with a cardstock, and it'll look really official and great. One of the advantages to him is its print consistency is going to be key. I was originally working with Shapeways, but the print consistency after placing many orders with them, as well as the price consistency, was too high when it came to fluctuating. He's going to have a flat rate of $10 per mini. He'll be able to ship it anywhere, and you can order between one or all of the minis, all directly from one place.
Okay, so through Epic, it's going to be $10 a mini, about, so $110 total for all 11 classes. Okay, and so just so everyone knows, there's some really cool mechanics that have been built into this, some things like how you choose your starting classes, stuff like that. I've got a bunch of other videos, other interviews I've done with Mr. Board Game 613. I'll link those down in the description. So make sure you go and check those out. And again, make sure if you're interested, go and register. Let's get a lot of people buying this so that the cost, goes as low as we can possibly get it, so that we can all experience this. We can all appreciate the hard work, Mr. Board Game 613 and, everybody else who's involved. We can appreciate the hard work they've done. And again, I just wanted to say thank you, Mr. Board Game 613 and everyone else who's worked on it. Just an amazing project. The scope is just unreal for custom content. I'm really excited. I'm going to go and register right after this video. And I think that's pretty much it. So thank you everyone watching this video, and a special thank you to my subscribers and my patrons. I couldn't do it without you.